In this class we want to talk about leadership, power and control. So to start, leadership comes with power. A leader is a person who has the power to influence others to follow their views, to follow his or her view. The influence that the leader exerts on others to follow his or her views, that influence is power. It's the power to get their ideas across, to get their ideas understood, and get their ideas implemented. Leaders may gain power because their subordinates consider them knowledgeable within the field. So knowledge leads to power and to being a leader. So subordinates follow the leader because they believe the leader has knowledge. They have good ideas. They have studied the situation, they understand the situation, and they have the best interests of everyone at heart. So they are knowledgeable people. French and Raven, two writers in the area, in I think it was 1959, they introduced 5 bases of power. The model explains that power can be separated into 5 aspects. The model illustrates the impact of each power and how different powers affect leadership and team success. Now the French and Raven model sees power in 5 ways, 5 sources of power. There's positional power, which is in 3 parts: legitimate, reward, and coercive. And personal power, which is expert power and referent power. So we have 5 sources of power which we need to consider, and we'll have a look at these in turn, starting with legitimate power. The idea that a leader has the right to demand from employees or they may receive punishment. So it's this idea that the leader has a right to ask the workers to do a certain task. The task must be reasonable and must be achievable and so on. But the person asks the workers to do it. The leader asks the workers to do it. And they do it perhaps because of fear of punishment, fear of losing their job, or fear of being turned down for promotion, or for whatever reason. This type of power is only present based on the leader's position, not the leader. If his or her position goes, so does the authority. So the managing director has power because he or she is the managing director. It's the managing director who has the power, not the individual. If that person ceases to be managing director, then they cease to have power. Legitimate power is a common form of power within an organization. So legitimate power is quite common. Employees may rebel against this type of power, as no one likes to be told to do something they don't want to do. So it's a very much a command type structure. The leader has authority and the leader exercises the authority and the workers follow, and if they don't follow, there is the fear of punishment. Reward power. Well, reward power, this includes things like or situations like promotion, praise, bonus, career development, and so on. So the leader can ask for something to be done, for a new idea to be implemented, and in return there is a reward system. The reward system can become ineffective if employees receive the same reward for all their positive work. So the reward system has to be commensurate with the amount of effort it took to achieve the task. If workers receive some small return for achieving a task and then receive the same return for achieving an even bigger task, they start to question it. And the reward system may not work. The incentive to go for the rewards may not be there. So rewards have to change with the needs of employees in order to keep them motivated. Rewards have to be scaled. Sometimes perhaps financial rewards, sometimes praise, sometimes the chances of career promotion or some sort of development program. But the workers must feel that their contribution is been recognized and that the reward is commensurate with the contribution that they have made for it to be successful. Expert power. This type of power involves having expert knowledge in the field. So the leader understands the situation. The leader understands it. The leader is probably one of the few people who can fix the situation if it goes wrong. They have expert power. These people are respected and valued because they are able to come to the rescue. When something breaks down, a production system or some managerial system or whatever it is, when something goes wrong, experts are required perhaps to fix it. Well, someone with expert power is the leader in that situation. These people always have the answer and are able to effectively resolve the dispute or the issue or the breakdown or whatever it was. This type of power allows leaders to perform to the best of their ability, because this is when the leader can show that he or she has expert power, and that can be used then to inspire the workers to follow the leader, because the workers can see the leader doing something that they can't do. This power improves leadership skills because it's recognized and it's seen by the others. Referent or referent power. Celebrities and politicians possess this type of power. They have the power to influence individuals because they have a likable personality, a charm or a charisma and admiration. So some public figures, some public people have got a type of power which inspires others, inspires ordinary people on the street to follow them because of their charisma or their charm or whatever it is. People just simply like them, so they want to follow them. It's based on a likability factor, but it can easily be abused by the individual to gain personal advantage. Some pop stars are liked because they have nice personalities, but then they go on to try to sell t-shirts with their name on it for some very, very high price, and because people like them, they want to buy them. But there's an element of, it's likability, but the person with the power may capitalize on it. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, that's debatable and could be the subject of many good seminar. A person with this type of power is may not necessarily have the right qualifications, skills and expertise to perform their responsibilities. So although people look to this person and admire the person and admire the person's charm and their personality and so on, it doesn't mean that that person is therefore qualified to become Prime Minister or to become Chancellor of the Exchequer. and their opinions perhaps about other areas of the economy or areas of industry or other areas in general should not really carry that much weight because that's not their expertise. In a world that is increasingly complex, we rely on experts to make opinions and to put out arguments for us to assess. And we do this through the voting system. Simply following someone because they have got charm could be quite dangerous. They may be well intentioned, but it still could be quite dangerous. Coercive power. It's the most ineffective power. It causes dissatisfaction and demotivation in the workplace. Coercive power is almost like bullying. It is forcing the workers to do something. It is forcing the situation on them, forcing change or forcing a new procedure on them. The leader is forcing it on them, and that is resented. It demotivates the workforce. It normally involves threats and punishment. So it is a type of bullying, really. The threats could include being fired, losing their job, being demoted, treated unfairly. And for this reason, there are many quasi-legal agencies springing up around the world to try and protect workers in the workplace, to stop managers being abusive and using coercive power in the extreme to get things done. So it's not a nice type of power. It is using force to implement their policies. So effective leaders are ones which use referent and expert power. If individuals have an understanding of the different types of powers, they can recognize the type of power they hold. So having this category that we've just set out, at least it helps us to classify what type of power the leader holds or wishes to use. And it also enables them to develop leadership abilities by using power to their advantage. By looking at the advantages and disadvantages of each type of power, they're able to select the most appropriate in order to maintain morale, encourage motivation and hence productivity, lower costs, growth within the business. So they're able to look at what type of leadership attribute is best and to select that one. So that's our talk on leadership, power and control, and that ends this class. So thank you for watching.